surveys has nothing to do with real estate, branding, the stuff that I do. But I still have made, at this point, close to 400K selling a digital product that I created once just because I'm good at getting eyes to my page and then giving them an offer that's valuable. So people think that their lifestyle has to reflect what they're trying to sell, which yes, that does help to have that, have something that's coherent.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's about getting eyes to your brand and then offering something of value. That's all it is. People overthink it.
What's going on, good people? Welcome to another episode of First Generation Wealth Builders. Today, man, I got a special guest, man. I got my guy, Agent Dooley, in the building.
What's good, brother?
What's going on, man? For those who don't know, let us know who Agent Dooley is.
Bet. So my name is Agent Dooley. Obviously, that's my stage name. Jordan Dooley is my original name. I'm a real estate investor. I'm a brand consultant, and I do a lot of stuff online with digital marketing and basically teaching personal brands how to take their skills and turn it into digital products.
Gotcha. That's a handful.
Yeah, so I kind of dabble in a bunch of different things, and I think it'll be dope for us to talk about how they kind of integrate together.
No doubt, no doubt. So I got, without further ado, where did agent come from?
Yeah, so when I started out in real estate, I actually got my real estate license. So
Awesome.
my whole brand was agent, like real estate agent, and then my last name Dooley. So although I'm not even, I don't really pursue the real estate agent lifestyle anymore. I just kind of kept it. It's kind of a vague term, and it just sounded cool. So yeah, I just stuck with it.
Got you. Are you still licensed?
Yeah, so I'm still licensed. I pretty much only use it to sell my own flips.
Got you. So you flipping right now?
Yeah, so I finished my last flip about 3 months ago. After that, I kind of moved more towards the online space. I'm looking to build capital there and then kind of get back into real estate. So right now, I'm kind of like on a hiatus, so to speak.
Got you. Why did you decide to go back to focus more on e-commerce as a contrast to, aggressively flipping?
Yeah, so honestly, my last flip, it was not the greatest. It had a huge toll on me because, as you know, as flipping, it can get really nasty. And with permitting and doing it right in the middle of COVID and just the size of the deal, the partnership I had, because I had a partner as well, his name was Benny. At the time, things were going, just like being disrupted. So honestly, it just took a huge toll on me and it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. So I kind of took that experience and decided to kind of focus on where I was making more money, which was online and with my brand, and kind of just get some capital back and then kind of dive back into real estate. So more just for mental health reasons, and then one because that partnership that I had kind of dissipated. So
Gotcha. Sorry to hear that, but it happens. Sometimes we
yeah,
learn from it, though.
yeah. I think honestly, you learn more from the stuff that goes wrong than the stuff that goes right. So I was definitely blessed to get through the experience and come out straight. And again, like I said, I learned a lot from it. So.
Got you. So, a little bit about me, man, and my re real estate investing journey. What happened for me was that I had an e-commerce store
Mhm.
and we were thriving. And at that moment, we were doing like 5.5 million like that year. No, I'll take it back. It was $2.2 million that year that we did. And that was like 14. And in 15, we did 4.8.
Wow.
But I started investing in real estate and I did 3 flips. My first flip, I did 27,000. And the second flip, I did 17, then I did 22. And I realized that I was making that per day, sometimes, a
Yeah.
couple of days. And so I had to make a business decision and I had to put my money where my money was growing the fastest. So
Definitely.
it sounded like, what you're going through was part of it was, hey, I can make more money here quicker. I'd rather take it here and then invest. Because what I started to do in 2016, 17 was I started to buy rental properties.
Yeah.
Because I realized that if I had a contracting crew, I could give them the same assignment, same paint, same floors, same everything.
Yeah, and just do it over and over again.
Rinse and repeat.
Hmm.
I just acquired the houses, and that allowed me to get back into my business and allow the business that was actually giving me the capital to invest to continue growing. Because flipping was just taking me away because you got to design it. You got to
Yeah.
get architectural permits and things
Yeah,
like that.
it's a lot. It's a lot. So do you feel like um it just wasn't worth it because you weren't making as much as you were originally making, and it was taking up probably more of your time? Because I feel like with e-commerce, obviously, there's a lot of complexities. But with real estate, having a physical asset, I mean, like, it's a lot of stuff you gotta handle there.
So this how I looked at it. I looked at it as if I made 22,000 in 4 to 5 months, I could go get a job paying $5,000 and make the same type of money.
Literally, yeah.
So that's not worth it for me. But so now today I still do flip, but if I flip, I'm going to make 50, 60, 70,000 on the
Yeah,
flip.
it has to be worth your
The
time and
time.
effort and
Yeah.
the investment. That's what it was for me. It was like, I my goal was to make like 30 to 40,000. And let's say it takes like, best case scenario is gonna take 3 months. That's gonna take maybe 30 days to get everything ready, 30 days to kind of solidify, and then another 30 days to even sell it.
Right.
So over that, if you make 30 grand, you made 10 grand a month. But I'm doing more than that with my personal brand. But the
Yeah.
thing is, it's not only less time, but it's less effort. Like not everything has to do with financial gain. Like for
Facts.
me, if I can make $15,000 a month busting my ass, like I might take 12 if I'm just chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So a lot of you gotta think of the lifestyle ROI. And for me, making
Mm.
money online, not only was I more passionate about it, but the money came easier and I saw the scalability to be a little bit easier. Because if you want to scale being a
Mhm.
real estate investor, I mean your systems have to be on go. Like, especially in the market that we're in, where it's a seller's market, people are paying $10,000 of a purchase price just to get their hands on a deal. Where it's like if you're not a hedge fund, it's hard to even have the buying power to compete.
I agree.
But with my personal brand, I just felt that the long term advantage was going to be higher. So that's what kind of why I'm moving more towards that, and it is paying off. And my lifestyle, not having to really be anywhere, not having to check in, not having to worry about people breaking into my properties, which did happen twice in my last one. The peace of
Mm.
mind, along with what I was making, was just way more worth it for me.
I
So I
like that
definitely
though, Mike.
understand
You
that.
hear that? Don't let that go over your head. Lifestyle ROI. I like that.
Yeah, you gotta think about, like, how is your lifestyle being affected? Because not all money is good money. I've made money on Flips before, and I was like, it wasn't worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
The amount of stress and headache that I went through is not worth what I made if I can delegate my skills here and invest less and have a lower overhead and still make maybe 80%. And with digital marketing and really digital businesses, as you know, with e-commerce,
Mhm.
I mean, you can have a website, maybe some ads running, you pay for your logos and your domain, and your overhead is moderately low. But you're
Mhm.
flipping a house, you're gonna have to throw at least 50, 60, $70,000 into it.
Got you. Well, I got ways to help you with that, boss. If you ever need help in the future, I definitely got the connections for you and you, just to like, leverage. Therefore, you come out of less out of pocket, though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and actually for my last deal, I'll explain a little bit about it. So what we did, was obviously we got hard money, so we needed around 80% for the deal, right? And then what we did is I actually used my personal brand because 'cause I've been flipping properties, like, and literally showing the entire process on Instagram. So I flipped my first property when I think it was 21, and I actually bought 2 properties in the
How old are you
same day.
today?
I'm 24.
Man,
So
if
I
I knew what I knew when I was 21,
so
woo!
yeah, so I started at 19, wholesaling. So wholesaling was, like, way different back then. That was, like, what, maybe 2015, 2016. It was kinda
How many deals were you doing then?
man, I was doing, like, 1 every 2 months. Like, it was not like but for me to be able to make 5 bands, like, it was a lot. I was working at pizza at the time. So I was not, like, going crazy. I was literally just learning. I was actually co-wholesaling where I basically had a mentor that would send me the deals,
Mhm.
and I would go to these meetings and just get emails, and he would send me the deals. I'd remark them up, put my name, mark it up maybe 2, 3 bands, and then send it out to my email list that I got from meeting people in person. So what I did is I didn't have the knowledge and I didn't have the skills to lock up deals, but what I did is I added my sweat equity to someone that did, and I knew I could get an email list and, hustle and get some emails, and so I really just sent his deals to them, and that's how I closed my first deal.
How'd you get your emails?
Literally just going to, Atlanta RIA meetings, with Atlanta Real Estate Investor Alliance meetings. So you can go to Atlanta RIA, and it's literally like 5, maybe not now, COVID and stuff like that, but there was like maybe 1 meeting for every single day of the week where just real
Mhm.
estate investors are there. So there was one called, haves and wants. So investors would come and they'd have deals that they have and then deals that they're looking for. So I'll
Mhm.
literally go there, babyface me, and just say, "Hey guys, I know nothing about real estate, but I'm willing to learn and I have so much time on my hands and I'm willing to add value to you guys just for an opportunity to get, to get my hands dirty." You know what I'm saying? So I was literally just there just saying, "Hey, I'm looking for a mentor that has more capital than they have time because I have no capital, but I
Mm.
have time." So people want to get in the game, but they have nothing to offer. They have no like
Facts.
value. You know what I'm saying? But I knew I didn't have any money or really experience, but I had time and I had grind and I had hustle. Like I was literally driving for dollars, I'd walk for dollars if I had to. You know what I'm saying? So
Ugh.
so I just found, okay, what am I lacking and what can I add? And I basically just went there and just said, this is what I have to offer. who needs what I have to offer and how can we make a deal work. And that's how I found my mentor.
Mm. I like that, Mike. I gotta interrupt and be like, that might be the title of the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Walking for dollars to, you know what I
Yeah,
mean,
I
to
was hungry, man.
driving dollars to walking them
I just
dollars.
wanted it, man. Like I said, I was working. My first job was at Fitness 19, which is like an old gym. I don't even know if you've heard of it because it's like kind of
Mhm.
like out of business now, but it might be local. But it's a gym, and for some reason they had me in a chicken suit, literally a chicken suit, out spinning a 14-day free trial sign. Like
What kind
that
of
was my
weather
first
is
job.
this?
It was hot, man. It was hot. This is like summer, my first job. I was maybe 17. It's my first job. So like I just remember being embarrassed. Like, of course I was young, so I wasn't expected to be like a CEO. But even at the age, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like I don't want to have to do things that I don't want to do because I need the money. It made me feel like less of who I was, you know? I was like, man, I just want to do something where I only do things that I'm passionate about and want to do. But I didn't have any bread. So I had to go and do that. So I was split half my days where I'd do that, and the other days I would go in the parking lot and they'd have me put these flyers on people's cars, like with like advertisements. And I
Mm.
remember I'd do that, and people would see me and they'd say, "Yo, get off my car!" Like they start screaming at me. I'm like, "Okay, I'm done. I cannot do this."
I
And
could
that,
just picture you running in that chicken
yeah,
suit with the
no,
feathers flying
I
off.
didn't have the chicken suit when I was delivering, delivering, putting notes on cars or whatever.
I'm teasing.
But, like, that was, like, the moment where I was like, "Okay, I have to find a way out of this lifestyle because 'cause I'm not gonna survive here." Because I have too
Understood.
much ego. I have too much ego to do things for people that I don't like to get money that I need because I don't have bread, you know? And that
Mm.
was a big mindset shift for me, but it took a couple years before I was able to actually kinda put that in motion.
So what happened that triggered change?
I think it was really just I had too much ego. Like, I had too much ego and nothing to back it up. Like, I knew that I was built different. I knew that I had a different mindset. I knew that I was gonna be great in life, but I had nothing to back it up. I wasn't.
And I
Yeah,
apologize.
go ahead.
Let me reframe the question.
Yeah.
What event occurred that actually started to transition the change of, you know, you doing things that you don't wanna do
Yeah.
to kinda like being active in the things that you wanted to do?
I think really just when I realized that when I learned about wholesaling, like when I learned about, I don't know if you know Ramon Tukes is. I know you're not from Atlanta, right?
I've heard of
Yeah,
Ramon.
so he actually had a book. I forgot what it's called. I apologize, but
So
it was
good.
like a beginner book for people that want to get into real estate or wholesaling. Because I didn't know what wholesaling was. Again, I was like 18, 19. So when I thought about real estate investing, I thought of buying rentals, putting 20K down, buying a flip, and using head, all this stuff. I didn't know that you could get into real estate with no money down, technically. You know,
Mm,
so when I learned that from the book, my mind got blown. And I was like, okay, the only reason that I'm not rich is because I'm lacking knowledge. Like that was the first time where you don't know what you don't know. So I was like, okay, this is something that's actually not a scam. And this me reading this book allowed me to realize how I can go about and do this. And that's when I became obsessed with learning and investing in myself because I knew that all the stuff that I wanted was inside books or inside teachers or mentors that could tell me things on how to get where I wanted to go. And that's
gotcha.
what just flipped the switch of it's not that I'm not enough, it's just that I don't know enough.
I like it, I like it. Now, how did you get, what was, like, your first step into e-commerce?
So really, back in the day, like when everyone was like on the Shopify wave. So I had like a bunch of Shopify stores for like the holidays, Father's Day. I was selling watches and just, it wasn't really professional, but
Is
I
that
started,
drop shipping?
yeah, drop shipping. So I started getting stuff from AliExpress or Alibaba and finding it for like $5, finding trending products, and then creating like a little rinky dinky Shopify store and selling this product, running Facebook ads to people in that niche, and then just trying to get some sales like that. So I made, a couple $1,000s, maybe like around $10,000 to $20,000 between three different stores.
So, what's the margin on that typically?
Around 30%. After ad spend and, the fees from the difference between the product and, what you get it for and what you sell it for and shipping and all that, I was making maybe around, like, 30%. So even if I made 10 grand, I only made 3 grand.
Right, right.
And that's barring all the refunds that I got, which I did get because I wasn't running a sustainable business. Like, I wasn't vetting my suppliers, I wasn't vetting my products, I was just trying to get money.
So when you say vetting, how could you vet a supplier of a product that you really don't know too much about?
Well, first I would order a sample. So I wasn't even ordering samples to see the quality of what was going on, right? So I would just see this product and I would just mail it to my customer. I wasn't getting samples and seeing what seeing what it felt like, seeing if it was quality, and I wasn't actually like vetting these suppliers and saying, "Hey, can you show me your warehouse and show me how many of these products you have so I know that if I put my quantity to 5,000 that you can actually fulfill that." Right? So it's
Mm.
not just about having a great product, it's about having a supplier that can fulfill the quantity that you have. 'Cause I might sell 1,000 a day because I have an ad set that goes crazy, but if my supplier only has 500, now I'm gonna get 500 refunds and probably lose my account because
Jesus.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
500 refunds?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. If I have 500 purchases, which is let's say 100. If I have 100 purchases, but I can only actually ship 70, that means I have to refund 30
Yeah,
people,
right.
right? And then
That's not a good look.
on Shopify or even Amazon, which is even worse, if you have to refund 30% of your audience, they're probably gonna say, "Okay, this is not a sustainable business," or they're not doing anything ethical, or they're not suitable, and we don't want them on our platform.
Facts.
So people are so worried about the product, but they're not worried about the supplier. Because what if your supplier just lacks off and they don't ship your product, you know,
Mm.
or they make a mistake, you're gonna take the hit for that. So you have to really like reverse engineer your business before you just start working with people, especially overseas. So I learned a lot about that, uh, through those days.
How old are you at this time?
I think I was like just turned 21. So this is when I
It's
was
3 years ago.
yeah, so this is like when I was kind of just doing everything. I was doing Shopify, I was trading Forex, I still had my real estate license, I was doing a couple deals a year. I was wholesaling a little bit, and I was just like, nothing is making me like enough money to like live the life I want to live. So let me just do everything, which ended up being a mistake. Because I thought that, oh, 7 sources of income to be a millionaire. But no, you have to start with one, build that up, and then use the profits from that to reinvest in other things. So I was doing
Mm.
it backwards, and I just didn't. I had to go through that to learn that.
What's your opinion on 7 streams of income? Do you really believe that
Um,
that's what you need to be
I
wealthy?
mean, I don't know if you need. I mean, I'm not a millionaire, so I can't. I guess I can't say anything. But all I know is I know a lot of people that are making millions just doing e-commerce,
Mm.
and if they specialize in that, I think that uh, you can make millions just doing that. But obviously, you want to invest some of that money and put it into real estate, stocks, and crypto. But I think focusing on one, maybe two things can make you a millionaire. And then the other sources of income, they have to be passive.
Have
I
you
don't
ever felt like you was stretched too thin by doing so
definitely,
much?
definitely. I was doing way too much. I was a real estate agent. I was a real estate investor. I was doing e-commerce stores for random products. I was trying to do eBay drop
By yourself?
shipping. Yeah, all by myself. I was trading forex at the time. Like I was just doing so much stuff. 'Cause I was just a hustler. I just wanted to get money. But I wasn't realized I was moving, but I wasn't moving tactically. So it was actually not doing as much benefit as I thought it was. Like there's a difference
Mm.
between being effective and being productive, or being busy and being productive. I was just busy, but I wasn't really being productive. It wasn't until I started, actually building my personal brand and selling digital products and scaling that I realized, man, I can just do one thing and come up. So it took me, till I was, maybe late 21, 22 to fully realize that.
Got you, got you. So we talked, and you told me that you had a class where you teach wholesaling.
Yeah. So I have a course where I teach people how to like create their first six-figure wholesaling business
Got you. Tell me
because
about that.
yeah. So kind of go back a little bit. So, wasn't really into being a real estate agent. I was kind of wholesaling on my own, kind of doing maybe like one deal a month and stuff like that. Not super consistent, honestly. So when I moved out to Atlanta when I was 22, I partnered up with my partner Benny, and we moved into our office right by the King and Queen building, and we created Diamond Home Acquisitions. That was our wholesaling business. That was my first experience having a legitimate business, being on Google, having SEO, having in-home employees, having VAs. Like that was my first time having like an official business. And we were just wholesaling out of that. We had three acquisition partners that were in home that were cold calling. We had three VAs, and then we had a bunch of people that were like driving for dollars and stuff for us. And I think our max we were doing maybe like 4 to 5 deals a month. But I think just that wasn't really the industry for me. Even though I like wholesaling and it's extremely lucrative, for me, I don't think I was the type of person that wanted to go to the office every single day and have to
Mm.
run this big business. So don't get me wrong, were we making money? Yes. Like for wholesaling, I mean, 100K a month is not like an obstacle. Like that's very possible, especially now. But I had to really internalize and say, can I do this for the next 5 years? Is this what I'm passionate about? Or should I just go back to doing my online thing? So around the time that I started doing my last flip, that was over in Decatur with that same partner, the stress from what was going on with that flip and our business not doing bad, but not scaling, that pretty much kind of all fell apart. So that was my first time experiencing losing a business as well. So as an entrepreneur, it was a very tough time for me, especially since I'm putting all this stuff online. So I'm not only losing privately, I'm losing publicly, so to speak.
Did you have a partnership agreement?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
in
And the
terms
partner
in terms of, like, our business
to
and
separate?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, everything was good with that, like, we
Okay,
kinda we
cool.
we kinda just closed our last deal and kinda just dissolved the business, so nothing, like, went wrong with that.
Oh, okay.
But it was just from, what was going on with, dealing with that last flip we were doing, uh, dealing so much with that and not having time to actually build our business and scale it, we just kind of, like, chose together to say, "Okay, this is not working out, let's go our separate ways."
So a lot of people may say that, you could go fast alone, but you go far together.
Mhm.
So, you're aware of that, right?
Yeah.
So do you think that you ever venture into a partnership again?
Definitely, definitely. I just think that, for those particular circumstances, our personalities didn't match. The what was going on with COVID, it was just a lot of like personal stuff that was going on, honestly. And that's why it didn't work out. But I definitely agree in having a team. But you can definitely have an online business and have a team and not have people that are in house. You have a
Yeah, no
copywriter, you
doubt.
have a VA, you have an ad company running your ads. So now I'm taking my talents and what I learned from being in a partnership, but I'm more moving into the digital space.
Got you. What would you do differently in the next partnership, regardless whether it's real estate and or e-commerce?
I feel like the first one's gonna be to really establish what each person brings to the table. Like, don't get me wrong, like, he's a very talented guy, I am as well, obviously, but I just don't think we meshed in terms of what we brought to the table is almost too similar, which
Okay.
some people think that you should be exactly similar,
Mm,
but I kinda want someone to pick up where I leave off,
mm.
like, where I'm bad at, I want you to be good at that. What you're bad at, you want me to be talented at that. So I think, instead of getting the partnerships because you guys get along, you wanna get in partnerships that are strategic and I need you to do this because either I don't want to do it or this will make me more money if I delegate this and spend time doing X, Y, and Z.
Gotcha.
So I
That's
think
super
just
important for
going
those who partner up with their friends.
yeah, 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 friends and family, like, that's, like, one of the worst things you can do, not only from a personal aspect, but you need to get into a partnership, especially, if you get into a partnership and stuff starts blowing up, and you start to realize, "I don't really need this person, but now I'm splitting 100K a month with someone that I got into because we were just friends and everything was fun." So you have to
Mm,
really start with the end in mind. And say, "Okay, cool, if we get to this, am I happy having this person being an asset to what I bring to the table as well?" So just moving more strategically instead of trying to move fast. I think that's definitely what I learned from that. But like I said, I learned so much from things that go wrong or L's, whatever you call it. So I'm just grateful for every experience that I've had.
I could dig it. I could dig it, man. You was also telling me about Side Money University.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
talk
that
about
was like
that.
my first like success. And again, like I'm happy to talk about it because like you're gonna be like, "Yo, that's weird." It's not about anything that I've talked about so far. So,
Okay.
Side Money University is a course where I teach people how to make money doing surveys, right? So, when say the off rip, what do you think about? You think about doing surveys, like how profitable can that be? Like, what do you think about when you think about that?
Man,
From you that knows about side hustles and stuff, like,
are you
what's your
like doing
opinion?
like secret shoppers and stuff like that?
That's kinda to a degree, but here's basically how it goes. So, let's say a big company like Coca-Cola, Google, Samsung, when they're making a product, right,
Mhm.
they do something called market research. So, they're not just gonna release a product and just hope that the market loves it. What they're gonna do is they're gonna find people like me and you, consumers, and they're gonna pay us pretty handsomely to test these products and services and get an opinion on it before they release it. So, for example, I did one on a VR headset. It was the Samsung VR, the Gear VR. This was a couple years ago. And so they sent me an email screener saying, "Hey, we're looking for people that are this age to test out a VR headset." I applied to it. They called me back and said, "Yeah, I'm interested. We're interested in you having tested." So they sent me this VR headset for 2 weeks. I just played games on it and tested it. What did I like? What did I dislike? What should you change? And they gave me $500 and let me keep the headset. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
literally, just there's a bunch of different things that revolve around companies paying you to get your opinion on certain things, and it's extremely easy, but these companies pay like 150, $200 for like an hour session to
mm,
talk about these certain things. Like, well, it might be an hour long Zoom call talking about uh, Hennessy's trying to make a new logo or something like that. You give your opinions, they send you a PayPal for 150 bucks. So if you're doing maybe one or two a day, I have people that are making $2,000 to $3,000 a month. doing this. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that it's relatively unknown and it's untapped, like it's just like it's so abundant. People getting this.
Everybody need side money university
Yeah,
then.
I mean
You know what I mean?
the thing is like even as a joke, it's crazy because everyone really does because obviously there's people that the people that I'm not reaching to are people that are like, multiple six figures, seven figures. It may not be worth their time, but the average person gets paid, let's say 10 to 20 bucks an hour. So
Mm,
for a college student, a single mom, someone young that's looking to get into entrepreneurship, but their business isn't scaled yet or isn't making enough money yet, to be able to make an extra $1,000 or $2,000 from home with like 10 hours of work, that's a game changer. Like for me, when I quit, I was making maybe 1,500 a month at Pizza Hut. I was making an extra 1,500 doing surveys. That's what allowed me to invest in my skip tracer systems, to get to wholesaling, my marketing. Like that basically saved my life back then. And the fact that it was so easy and accessible, instead of getting a part-time job, that kind of saved my life back then. So
so hold on,
yeah,
man. I
I
gotta
know.
ask,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
how much do you charge for Side Money University?
Yes.
What do you get and how much does it
Yeah,
cost?
so I charge 297, and basically I teach people first off like what it is because people don't know that it exists. So I teach them about this is what it is and this is how it works and this is why it works. And I teach people how to find because obviously there are a lot of scams out there where it's like, hey, or you get $1 for doing this. So I teach people like the 55 companies that I've used personally and that I have relationships with because these companies want me to find people to test their products. So I
Mm,
basically plug people in with over 50 companies that are paying people to do these types of things, right?
mm,
And then I give them advice on how to duplicate their success inside the course. And obviously we have a group chat because we have almost, I think we're at 1,970 students. So,
that's big.
yes, we have a lot of people, close to 2K. And then obviously people in the group chat are there posting studies and it's just like become a huge community. So I basically just teach people how to find these things, and I connect them with the companies that I'm in touch with.
So if they could basically what happened? Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. We don't know what just happened, but we back and rolling. And I was basically in a position just like of awe hearing you. It sounds like everybody needs to attend Side Hustle University. Would you say so?
I mean, obviously, I'm biased because it's my program, but I do
Right.
believe that it's an absolute no-brainer. I mean, you have to think about the fact that we almost have 2,000 students, and that's organic. And a lot of that is from because I have an affiliate program where people can actually make money referring people to the program, and it's just caught fire because it's just so valuable. It's basically like, hey, if you give me $300, I'm going to teach you how to make $1,000 doing this profit every single month for the rest of your life. So if you think about, you might scoff at $1,000 a month, right? But you have to think about it like, let's say Turo. To get to $1,000 a month profit, you have to have a car. You have to buy the car. You have to hope that you don't have any maintenance on it. It's a lot. Let's say not Turo, Airbnb. You're gonna have to either do Airbnb arbitrage or buy your own property. It's a lot of work. Not to say that it's not lucrative,
Mhm.
but the barrier to entry is so much higher. Let's say e-commerce. Let's say you make 30%, like we were talking about earlier, profits. That means you have to make $3,000 a month to actually profit 1,000, and that's after you master Facebook ads and web design and all that. Or you can literally give your opinions to companies and make $1,000 profit every single month if you hustle.
Hey, bro, can I get a link
Yeah, I can
so I
send you.
could,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'll even give you a discount as well.
I'll
So for
tell
having this,
somebody that they
yeah,
shit sucks
yeah,
for $300.
yeah, yeah. No, like like so. Does that concept make sense to you? Like think about it. Like companies, they can't just release a product. Like they're
Mm,
not just gonna, hey, we're gonna make this website, we're gonna have crazy colors and this and that, and we're just gonna release it and hope people like it. But no, they might ask 500 to 1,000 people in these custom groups of what do you guys think about this? And if 80% of the people think that this is better, the company's gonna release that. So they don't mind paying us $30,000 to a couple hundred people to get their opinion because they're gonna release it and make 1 million. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? And market research is $1 billion industry. So literally everybody can eat. So even though we have a group chat of 2,000 plus people, nobody like we have a lot of students that are getting into the same groups together. Like they're being the same Zoom call, answering questions, just getting money. Like so, I think it is so untapped, and I'm the only person that I guess has like quote unquote mastered it. That's why it's been so successful. And then I'm also just good at getting my offer in front of people because you got to think about it. Surveys has nothing to do with real estate, branding, the stuff that I do, but I still have made, at this point, close to 400K selling a digital product that I created once just because I'm good at getting eyes to my page and then giving them an offer that's valuable. So people think that their lifestyle has to reflect what they're trying to sell, which yes, that does help to have that, have something that's coherent.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's about getting eyes to your brand and then offering something of value. That's all it is. People overthink it.
Got you. Can somebody do this full time?
I would never say full time. Like I said, the highest I've seen someone make is like 3 to 4K, which again, that's like, that's like doing multiple a day, whatever, which is still better than a full time job, I'd say. But I never, in my offer, I don't say, hey, quit your job and do this. I say, hey, use this as supplemental income that you can do from home, so that you can use this to invest in other things.
Got you. That's why you call it side money.
Yeah, side money university. So, but the thing is, I make a full-time income selling a side hustle. So I used to trick myself into thinking, oh, I gotta do real estate. I gotta flip houses. I gotta do all this stuff that's sexy when I can make 100K a year selling a side hustle doing surveys. It doesn't matter if it's sexy. It matters if it makes money and puts it in a bank account. Oh, sorry about that. And,
You're good.
and adds value to people. So people,
Mm.
they want to do all the flashy stuff, but they don't want to do the stuff that works, And
Mm.
even I had problems with that, but now I just do stuff that works. And what is working right now is selling digital products through my personal brand.
Got you. That leads me to the brand to bands.
Yeah.
Tell me about
Yeah, so
that.
brand demand, that's like nothing too much to talk about. That's just a course, like when you're a personal brand, you just listen to your audience, right? So basically, when I was wholesaling, of course, I had people like, oh, yeah, I want mentorship. Teach me how to wholesale. Me, I know that wholesaling is extremely hard. In terms of like finding a deal, you might have to take 1,000 calls before you find a buyer or a seller that wants to sell their or needs to sell their property for a discounted price. Like, you know how the game goes. You might have to drive for dollars for months or cold call 1,000 people, send 10,000 text messages. It's tough. And I know that most people don't have the tenacity and the hustle to do it.
Mm.
But I created the program because I didn't really want to waste my time mentoring people when I did it at a decent level. But I felt like it was worth it to take the knowledge I did have, create a digital product, and if people are interested, I have something to offer. So I just listen to what my audience wants, and then I offer something for that. Same with branding. People saw that I was making money, creating content that converts and building my personal brand. So I created a course called Brand to Band, where I basically teach people how to use social media content to build community and build a personal brand. And then the second module is how to use that brand to push digital products or consulting to monetize your personal brand. So there's 2 parts: building a brand and then using digital products or services to monetize it.
Got you. Man, that's a lot, brother. That's a lot.
Yes,
Woo!
that one's kinda a little more complex, but I think that Side Money University or SMU will always be my breadwinner because it's so different and the ROI is borderline instantaneous and anyone can do it. Not everyone wants to wholesale property. Not everyone wants to build a personal brand, but everyone wants to make money talking about products and getting paid $150 for an hour. That might take someone 15 hours to make. You can make that on a call talking about Coca-Cola. You know what I'm saying? So I think that'd be my breadwinner just because the offer is so valuable and it's applicable to anybody that has a computer.
Got you. Man, for those watching this podcast, can we get like a little coupon code?
Yeah. So you actually go to agentdooley.com. What's the coupon code go? You want to make the code? What code
Man,
do
we
you
make it EDE,
EDE?
E2E.
E2E. Okay, yeah. So use code E2E. I'll give you 50% off. So
Oh, you gonna get the
yeah,
people that for
yeah,
$1.50?
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, $1.50. And you can
my man, my man.
because, and I'm gonna be selfish here, because the more people from your community that invest in my program and know about me and see that I added value to them, the better it's gonna be for my brand in the long run. So I'm
Mm,
willing to sacrifice money up front because I know my brand is the long game. If I can add value to some people in your community,
I
then
appreciate
it's gonna
that.
work better. So it's all the long game. It's all about just adding value and getting your name out there as someone that's actually doing something valuable.
I
But
appreciate
there's
it.
so many people that are creating stuff because they just want to make money, which I get it. We want to make money, but you have to actually add value to create longevity to your brand. So for me, I always uh, under promise and over deliver every single time, and it just works in the long game.
I could dig it. I could dig it. So one more time before we leave, I'm going to leave the link below. But can you repeat what the website is just for those listening right now?
Yeah, so you can go to agentdooley.com and then you can use code E2E.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you'll grab 50% off during the community. You'll get an email welcoming you to our community or our Telegram chat, and we'll chop it up from there. But
Man,
I think it would be valuable to literally anyone that's interested in what we just talked about. So
man. So for 150, they could literally like like you said, instantaneously in one call, probably make that back, make their
Yeah.
money back, and then be able to like just do this on the side so you can have a job, come home, get on some surveys, and make anywhere between, $1,000, $2,000, if they're mildly applying themselves to
Yeah.
surveys.
Yeah, so to kinda just make it completely transparent and whatnot, so the first thing you do is you fill out a screener, so it's not just like you fill it out, you're automatically in.
Oh,
So
okay,
you fill
okay.
out a screener that basically sees if you're eligible, which
Understood.
I teach people the things to say and not to say, and the keywords that these companies wanna hear to see if you're gonna be a good participant, because they don't want
Got
someone that doesn't know
you.
how to use their words or someone that doesn't put together a good sentence, because they want valuable feedback, right? So that's what I teach inside the program. And the average I say is 100 to 150 bucks an hour. And again, a lot of them used to be in person, but since the whole thing, a lot of them are literally where it's like a phone call or a Zoom call with a moderator and stuff. And if you can get a couple a month paying 150 to 100 bucks an hour, sometimes more, I think that you get your first study within 7 days, and then being able to be all profit from then, even if you do two a month and
Mhm.
make $300, that can pay for groceries, for gas, for whatever. So I just think that there's a lot of people that wanna make money on the side, and this is an opportunity that's like a no-brainer, so
Oh man, we gonna do that. And when you do the two, make sure it's TOE2E, like entrepreneur to
Oh, okay,
entrepreneur,
that's a
but
yeah.
E2E.
Okay,
You know
bet.
what I'm
I
saying?
would've put 2, so that's good. That's a good that's a good catch.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. We gonna get that going. Now, what's next, man? What you got going on right now? What are you working on? What you got going?
Yeah, so now I've kinda even, like I've done a lot of, like, thinking, and a lot about being an entrepreneur is just, like, thinking what's best for you and, like, putting yourself in a mental space to be confident enough to go chase the shit that you wanna chase, you know?
Mm,
So, I know that I don't really want to be a business owner. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna create another wholesaling company, honestly. I don't know if I wanna have a bunch of employees and have this and that. I like just kind of being an online business owner or whatever, and being an investor. So I have most of my money really in crypto, stocks, automated Amazon stores, and stuff like that. And I feel like I want to mostly deal with online businesses like digital products that have low overhead, not a lot of stress, and then more move towards right now I'm creating a full-fledged digital marketing company. So what I do is I'm more moving towards high ticket, and I'm taking on a couple clients a month where I basically teach them what I teach in my course. I do that in person. So
got you.
I'll take someone in and I'll basically help them build their brand step by step, and then help them build their first digital product and sell it.
Got you. For a minute, I was about to be like, Agent Dooley don't want to fuck with the people. He tired dealing with human
Oh, no.
beings. You
That's
know?
not it, man. It's just for me, like, I gotta think about I know for me, I just love the digital space because it's just so lucrative in terms of how much you can make versus, what you have to invest in. Like I said, I've come from the real estate space. In my last flip, we bought it for 170. We put, like, damn near 100 in it, so for like 355. Like, that's a lot of money, and again, we I didn't use really any money out of pocket for that one, so it's not really about the amount of money that I put in myself, it's just the amount of moving pieces
Right.
and what makes me happiest in life, you know what I'm saying? So I still have to answer calls, I still have to worry about people breaking into my spot, I still have to worry about my contractors not effing me over, which definitely did happen. So for me, it kinda did make me kinda step back a little bit and kinda take things in my own hand, but now it's just like, why don't I just take the systems I learned from real estate and then take it into the digital field, you
Got
know?
you.
So some people they make millions doing real estate. I don't know if I'm gonna be that guy. I might wanna make millions online and then get back into real estate like you do the Burr method. I'm a big fan of the Burr method, the Burr strategy where you can basically get a free, like you said, a free rental,
No
take your
doubt.
money back out, and almost sometimes make money as if it were a flip,
Right.
you know? And then maybe get into I probably won't get into single family rentals, but if I when I do dive into it, I probably wanna buy like duplexes, triplexes. So I think people have to really realize, like, what do I want for my life versus what is Instagram telling me? Because Instagram's telling me
Mm,
flip houses, make. Because don't get me wrong, my story views are popping off when I'm literally in there with a sledgehammer knocking shit down in the house. I'm making posts, it's super dope, but I'm making more online, not doing shit, you know?
mm.
So I stopped focusing on what looks cool and what is cool. And what is cool is making money online or
I can
making
dig
money
it.
in general, you know? So that was just, what I kinda self-analyzed and, where I'm kinda moving now, more towards the digital marketing and brand consulting, which is more high ticket, and then obviously still selling, mid to low ticket digital products.
Gotcha. I'm gonna be nosy for those who are interested in real estate. So when you told me your setup as far as like kind of your organization, you had some VAs,
Mhm.
you had some disposition and acquisition officers,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you had you and your partner. Now, what type of software did you guys use, let's just say, for, skip tracing?
I think we were using batch skip tracing or need to skip. They're kind of like low key all the same. They all like none of them are 100%. So we're just using need to skip, batch skip tracing. We were text blasting with lead Sherpa because they kind of like people started doubling down on SMS. Like
Mhm,
you have to say like press this to opt out now, which kind
mhm.
of lowered our rates, but you know that's just what it is. I think we use call rail and what is this? It's been so long. Something Mojo.
Mojo? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Mojo.
yeah,
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 I
yeah.
used Mojo before.
We use that for a dialer, and, I think we use
Which one
Pipe,
you like better between those 2?
for the
Which
dialers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Definitely what's it called? Is it called Dial Mojo or
It's
it's
Dial Mojo. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah. I definitely that one. I think Caro actually was just what we use to differentiate our numbers. So if we get a text back or a call back from a text campaign,
Got
we
you.
know we got it from that. If it came from a bandit site, it came from that. If we know it came from our website, we know we have a different number for that.
So let me just because you may be going kind of fast for those who are listening, he's basically stating that he had different type of marketing campaigns going on. So for each type of marketing campaign, let's say one was a bandit sign, let's say one was a
Cold
online
calling, yeah.
cold calling, one was online. He could have sent voicemails and different types. They had different phone numbers to basically evaluate which system or which marketing technique is working better.
Mhm.
Therefore, each system was allocated to a different dialer. Therefore, that they could like look at the analytics to see what was working better. Is that
Definitely.
fair?
Yeah, yeah, and I
Gotcha.
love that because it ties back to my roots, which is marketing, right? Because the thing is marketing, I think, is the lifeline of any business. Like,
Facts.
at the end of the day, when I was wholesaling, I was a marketer. I was marketing to people who probably need to sell their property, which may be someone going through a divorce, someone going through pre-foreclosure, someone, that, is a high equity, person that lives out of state. I'm marketing to people that probably or have a higher chance of needing to sell their property for cash. And then what I'm doing is I'm connecting them with hedge funds or buyers or investors that are looking to buy properties in 7 to 14 days for cash. So all I'm doing is I'm being a middleman, marketing to people that need to sell, people that want to buy.
Got you.
Just like what I'm doing now. It's I'm marketing to people that are looking to make money online and offering a service that solves a solution. It's the same
So
thing.
so that's big. That's something that we something that you said that we had never spoke about on this podcast is hedge funds.
Mhm.
So a hedge fund, could you define that for somebody who's
Yeah, so a
not familiar?
yeah, so a hedge fund is basically, a big company, like a big company that, uh, I'm assuming a lot of investors are dumping money into this company,
Mhm.
and they're saying, "Hey, use our money to buy hella deals and then flip them or resell them or rent them out and then give us a percentage." So it might be instead of I'm a single investor and I got 100 bands in my account, here's a hedge fund that has 10 million and they're buying everywhere. So here's a major thing, man. Selling to hedge funds was major. Like we had one called Tiber Capital. They were buying anything. So if you're in Atlanta, if you're not using Tiber, you should know about Tiber. Like we these people would go out, inspect the next day, give us the inspection report same day, make the offer close in 7 days,
Mm,
earn this money up to 5K. Like they were I liked working with them because they were more professional and they could buy way more. So it's almost like it wasn't even worth selling to an individual because they had so many personal things going on. It was more humanistic, which sometimes you do want, but when you're dealing with transactions, you want a solidified company that we have this much, we want to buy, we can buy this day, we're going to do it. You know,
got you.
so
How'd you build that relationship?
I think I actually met one of their representatives at a meeting. His name is Alex, and he basically was like, "Hey, I work for this company. We're looking for deals all the time. Here's my card. Hit me up." So we got tight with him, where we could literally send him an address, just text it to him. He'll send me an offer, basically in the next 10 minutes, based off the numbers they run. And then what they do is they go and inspect it, and if that number worked, they write the offer, and we get to go. So just having that connection, I mean, we sold probably 60% of our deals to that one company and probably made six figures just with that company. And it was so easy and such a flawless uh transaction.
Yeah, that's a play. That's a big play right there. Got you, got you. Man, um, I want to dive in a little bit more into like the branding stuff that you do, right? Can you tell me about somebody who you've impacted with your branding strategies and some of their results by working with you? As somebody may be listening and they may be curious about what are the services and what type of results could they expect on the branding side?
For sure. So I have this one client I was working with. She was a real estate lady. Her name was Alexis. and she's super dope. So I want to shout out to her. I think her ad is Alexis Lee Real Estate. And she had, obviously a lot of followers already, but she was having issues on like like she was one of those people that was so busy that she couldn't like think about content. She didn't think about creating content, how to create content, what type of content to post. She just had kind of a big following. So what we did is we kind of focused on like her brand identity. Like, okay, cool, I do real estate, yeah, but like how can we go deeper than this? Like, how can we go deeper than I just make a lot of money in real estate? So what we did is we tried to sit down and create content that was going to be more personable to her. So some people, they're scared to like put themselves out there. So they only talk about like I made this much money, I did this, here's a tip. But when you get into the personal branding is when you talk about like yourself, your personal life,
Mm.
which sometimes it's scary. But we started making posts
It's
or
not scary, but, like, say, for somebody like me, I'm working through that, and they
yeah.
just not used to it. It could be uncomfortable.
Yeah, some people, they're scared to be that vulnerable, or they're just
Mhm.
not used to being that vulnerable,
Facts.
And sometimes you may not think, "Hey, why would someone care about my personal story? Why would they not want general information?" But when we started creating content that was more text-based, because people on Instagram, they're using, like, it used to be all visuals. Now it's even moving back to, like, text posts or like, those fancy carousels where it tells a story.
Mhm.
People are liking content that's almost more like Twitter now. So we started creating content
Mm.
where it might be a tweet carousel where it's, you repost it from Twitter and it's a carousel like telling a story. And they blew up. Like some of them, they went on Black Wealth Movement, like her personal stories because they were inspirational. They were going on crazy blog posts. They were getting shared everywhere. And I feel like she built more of a community because people are, okay, cool. I know you as the brand, but who are you as a person? So we started warming up her audience again with making content that let people know her personally and building that community. And then we actually set up a free training for her. So she had a digital product that we helped her create. That's called The Real in Real Estate. So it's a course where she basically teaches people the beginner basics of finding and funding your first real estate deal, right? But she
Mm.
didn't know how to market it without sounding too salesy. She was scared to market her business. So what we did is we did a free training where basically, throughout the week she would drop, either sauce or educational, informational, or entertaining content, right? To kind of give value, give value, give value. And then she would make a post at the end of the week, basically saying, "Okay, cool, guys. I know a lot of you guys are interested in real estate. I'm doing a free training on Sunday. You guys should join or whatever." And based on the training, she teaches people, a lot about the basics, but then she has her offer at the end. So she found a creative way to draw attention to her brand and be more personable and create community and then be able to sell her offer without for her feeling too salesy. So we did it by leading with value and then having an offer at the end. I always say don't sell, just offer. Because if you have something
Mm.
that's valuable and you put it in front of people that want value, it's a match made in heaven. They're going to compensate you because that's what they want to do.
Don't sell, don't offer. Give me an example of the difference between the 2. Just, for example, somebody listening to it, like, they may not know the difference.
Yeah, so I think selling, which there's nothing wrong with selling either, but selling is more like it's more internal. Like I'm trying to get a sell out of you, or I'm trying to reach my financial goals. So I'm marketing to you, trying to sell to you so I can reach my financial goals. But again, nothing wrong with that. I think if an offer is more like you're focused on external, like who are you, what are your goals, and what are you looking to do? Okay, now I have an offer. I'm presenting you with an opportunity that could help you transform from where you are to where you need to go. So I think when you focus on a lot of people, they're just focused on selling, but they're not focused on actually offering something that even makes sense for that client or that person. So for me, I always try to vet people and make sure that what I'm offering is even a fit for you. And I feel like people respect the fact that you're taking their needs into account. So I feel like an offer is more you're focusing on your audience, and a sell is more you're focusing on the financial success of your business.
Man, that's big right
Which
there.
again, there's nothing wrong with either, but I feel like offering is a more softer approach, and a lot of people are more comfortable giving value, giving value, giving value. And hey guys, I have something that you might like, and sometimes it works. But for me, I sell my shit because my
That's
because
funny.
my shit is valuable. So I sell it. I've gotten to a point where I've added so much value to my community where I feel like if I'm not selling, then I'm actually doing a disservice because I have something that's very valuable and can help someone. Me hiding my gift or my talent or my opportunity from the world by not marketing myself is actually doing a disservice to them. So that's the mindset that I put myself in.
Mm.
And if you don't have a product that you believe in, like I do wholeheartedly, I can
Mhm.
see how it may be hard to get up every day and make content and sell your product. So it's all about having a product that you can believe in and focusing on the transformation of who's your ideal client, where are they, and where are they trying to go? And is what you're offering the ideal situation or opportunity to help them make the transition from A to B?
Mm. So for somebody who struggles with content,
Mhm.
like what kind of advice do you give them?
Um, I think people kind of overthink it. I think that you can start with just your experiences. Because about being a content creator, it's not just about creating content, honestly. It's about not only just having content, but displaying it in a way that is consumable, right? Because you can look at a HUD statement and it's just like, I don't know what it is, but being able to break down a HUD statement and say, "This is what this is what this is why," and being able to break it down and make it consumable and adding it's almost like taking a paragraph, right? Let's say a giant block of text, right? And you see it. You might not wanna read it, but if you break it down into paragraphs and add it to each different slide of a carousel, "Okay, now I read this. Oh, I'm interested. Next slide. I read it. Okay, I'm interested. Yeah." And you keep going. You kinda lead them in. So I think it's kind of the same concept where you're taking what is the same block of text, but just because you put it into paragraphs and made it more consumable, you made it easier and more entertaining for your audience to digest.
I could dig it.
So I think you should take your content and not just take one idea, do it once and scrap it. I
Mhm.
might take one idea and make it a reel, make it a YouTube video, make it a tweet, make it a carousel, make it a regular post, you know? So I think being able to take one piece of content and spreading it out diversely among a bunch of different content forms is you're gonna hit a lot of different sectors of your audience because not everyone likes the same type of content. Some
Facts.
people only like reels. Some people like text more. Some people like pictures and pretty carousels. So I try to take one concept and spread it out for every single person that likes to consume different types of content.
Great breakdown. And we just talked about that. That's awesome, man. Got you, man. I am going to do my shameless plug
Go ahead,
to get
man. Sell.
to get us out of here. Despite that, what I would love for you to do, man, is just like think of of a gym or something that the people could really use and apply.
Mhm.
You know, that goes hand in hand with what you had to talk about today, man. We covered the spectrum of things. We
Yeah,
went
yeah,
from real
we
estate
went
to
crazy.
branding to e-commerce.
Yeah,
But
we
I
went
think it's
crazy.
super dope. And then what we'll do, man, again, we're gonna leave the link down there for the side
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
That's too easy.
Tapping.
Everybody needs that.
Yeah.
And then we'll also put the other links to everything else you got going on
Cool.
in your handles. So to you out there, man, I want to thank you for listening to another episode of First Generation Wealth Builders, man. I want you to know that I'm going to be teaching people how to get free rental properties in any market every Sunday at 7 o'clock Eastern time. I'm gonna show you how to get the money for your next deal. I'm going to show you how to find free rental properties in any market. And last but not least, I'm going to show you how to build generational wealth. I might even show you how to pay no taxes on your rent income. Like it's priceless. It costs nothing but your time every Sunday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. Now, as far as this podcast, make sure to like, share, comment, and tell a friend to tell a friend, man. It happens here, man. We interview dope people who do dope things and we find out their relationship to real estate. With that said, man, what you got for us?
Man, a gym, just one gym. It's tough because like I literally like my one part of my content is like creating a quote for every single morning. Um Honestly, I just feel like people have to realize there's a difference between deserving success and wanting success. Like everyone wants success. Everyone wants to do the same thing, wants to make money, do this and do that. But you have to ask yourself and like really be self-aware of what you're good at and what you're not good at and focus on what you're good at and hone in on that and hustle and grind and master that. And then anything you're not good at, instead of trying to do that, make money from what you are good at and delegate everything else.
Mm,
So I think don't do what I did and try to be a jack of all trades, you know, and a master of none. I think if you focus on your passions and your skills and then use business strategy to delegate everything else, that's how you can create a systematic business that's going to be successful for you.
I love it. I love it, man. Where can the people find you on social media and things of that nature?
Oh yeah, definitely. So you can find me on IG at Agent Dooley or Twitter at Dooley Agent. So I do most of my stuff on Instagram. So definitely give me a follow, tapping with me, and I post a lot of content, probably too much content there. So I'd love to see you guys there.
It's never too much, man. Never too much. Again, brother, thank you for coming
For
through,
sure, I
man.
appreciate the
I
invitation.
appreciate it. He sprinkled that sauce on there.
I
All
had to,
right,
man,
you
for the one
guys.
time.
Man, until next time, I see you then.